Today on the show, we've got the incredible Jenny Ting, and we're going to discuss tower tips with Jenny Ting in 10 minutes. What is the best advice that you can give when a deal in real estate falls through, Jenny?
That's a tough one. So all of us in real estate experience this because there's so many deals happening and sometimes you're not the lucky ones to get it done. In new development, for example, the ability that we are lucky to have multiple units for sale. So for example, if I put a buyer into a deal, thinking and knowing in the back of my hand that they do have selected and identified 2 or 3 units that they might like. And I kind of have that in my back pocket because I'm always thinking if I can sell 2 units instead of 1, I would like to move the other buyer into another unit. So I kind of have that in my back pocket in case anything goes south. I know that these 2 buyers have identified these 2 units and I might be able to get 2 done in one deal. So if it falls through, I move them to the other one.
I love that. So always the best advice you can give someone when a deal falls through is to have a backup deal ready. What is the biggest lesson you learned working on the addition?
One of the lessons I learned actually is even though the addition residences, there was only 20 units, so it was considered a smaller size project because we only had 20 for sale. Not talking about price per square foot or the price of the units, that was definitely record setting. But in terms of number of units, we were a very small project. And what I learned from that is this industry is so small. A lot of people then started to recognize me from that team and from selling the addition residences not very much soon after. So lesson I learned is this very small industry in Los Angeles, but also in real estate, that the circle and the network is very small.
One piece of advice you would give for new agents who want to get into new development?
I actually get this question a lot. So I got a lot of this in my DMs too, because I also ask my followers for their questions. I get this question very, very often. So what I would say is the advice for new agents looking to go after new development or get into the new development arena is do your homework and know the market from single family to vertical buildings. They both will cross and you will see yourself having buyers and sellers asking you about that market, because people that are looking at new development buyers are also looking at brand new construction in a single family home. They're going to compare and contrast everything. So this is LA and this is California. People will be looking at both markets.
Wow. Okay, great. That's some great advice. What is next question? What's a mistake that you made recently that you learned from?
So actually, this is a really good question. I am learning every day, and I think this also applies to my personal life and also business life. I'm learning every single day, and I'm also understanding the older I'm getting, the less I know. And this is something that I actually really appreciate. I'm learning every single day. And a mistake I learned recently is I think when trying to accomplish something, I'm a very perfectionist Virgo personality type. What I'm learning is to organize, trust my team, and I love teamwork. So having the ability to have multiple people working together to accomplish something is beyond anything that I can do myself. So I love that feeling of having a strong team, and I would not be sitting here talking to you today if I didn't have this badass team behind me.
What's your go-to new development selling strategy?
Oh, I love this one. The new development strategy is, because our job is to paint the future and what this development turns into and transforms the neighborhood, transform the city. New development, something a lot of people don't know, is we might be selling 5 years before the building is completed, 4 years or 3 years. Not very like the single family home side where you might just walk into a completed home. So in new development, my strategy, I think, is you really want to understand your buyer and take them on the journey and where they see themselves and paint that picture for them in 3 to 5 years.
Wow. So say I'm a buyer. How would you take me on that journey if I was buying something at $88.99? What would you say?
You are the perfect buyer for 88.99. You
Oh,
are
yeah.
the creme. You are. I think because you are so well connected and your network and you're such a people person, you would thrive in the West Hollywood Design District. Robertson and Beverly Boulevard and the location couldn't be more central and perfect for locals. That's why this building has attracted so many people, because locals who live in LA, that's the only place they want to live. I myself live in West Hollywood, and I want to drop a pin to where I would dream of living in West Hollywood, and that's where I want to be. I think you would be the
Exactly.
perfect buyer because you also would have the lifestyle of traveling a lot. So for you to have 24-hour service at your building at your fingertips when you're in Mexico City, when you're in Florida, when you're in Miami, traveling with the team and traveling for work, your unit and your home is taken care of by a phone call away. So you'll never have to worry about the security of your home, the cleanliness. It's like you're living in a hotel to accommodate your fast-paced and busy lifestyle.
I'm sold. All right,
Are you
last
ready to take the
question.
penthouse off the market?
I'm ready to take the $100 million penthouse, the 250, and combine them. I'm sold. Let me just call my banker here. Oh, I don't have a phone.
Okay.
How is it different selling? And you got this question actually on our panel last week that you did in person with Rainey Williams, which was so good. But I thought we'd ask it again. How is selling a tower residence different from selling a single family home?
First of all, I love Rainey so much. Her and I go way back actually and started at a different brokerage. And she's just been an idol and someone I looked up to as a woman and also in real estate. So that was such a treat. And I felt so honored to be a part of that panel. And I learned so much from her that day. I know we all did, but I could sit in the room and listen to her talk for hours. Um, So the difference between selling that single family home and residential new development is truly, I think the biggest difference is you're selling something that's not completed. So you have to envision this journey and this path a lot further ahead. I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not a magician, but you want to kind of be ahead of the market, and you're also always doing your research in front of the market.
But I did want to move on to Real Reads, which is our book club, where we suggest books that our audience, our Real Talk audience, should read. Jenny, for Real Reads, what are you reading right now? Could you hold up a book that you're reading right now? I have mine here.
I have been reading a new book lately. I just started a new book, and it's an easy read. It's actually called Unfuck Yourself.
Oh.
It's a book by Gary Bishop, and it's a book on the concept of a lot of people may blame circumstances or people or environment for things that they might not be happening in your life. And this book really dives into the internal journey for yourself. And I find it fascinating because you might see more goals and more things you want to accomplish in life, but a lot of people look outwards for why and reasons why they can't accomplish those things when everything is internal. So this book really opened up my eyes to having your own mental health, having your own kind of mind in a grounded place. And you will be surprised at how much optimistic and positivity comes through, and you will accomplish further, and you'll go and then accomplish those goals that you have.
I love that.
So I
So
recommend it. It's called it's Unfuck Yourself.
Unfuck Yourself is what Jenny Ting is reading for Real Reads. I love that.
I don't know if this is supposed to be PG, but we're
David Dillon says he's reading Think and Grow Rich. I'm reading Your Next Move, 5 Moves, Master the Art of Business Strategy. I think we're all in a
love
place.
that.
I think we're all in a place where like we're at a level of success and you're wondering how to take it to the next level and what your next move should be. In this book, oh, we're holding our books up. Great. Wait, hold it still. Hold it still. Nice. This book says what your next move should be, and Jenny Ting's book says how to solve that inner voice in your head. I love that. We're all looking for what to do next. This is a great book, and you can unfuck yourself with Jenny Ting. Jenny, thank you so much for coming on the show and giving us your tower tips. I love you so much. You have incredible advice. And
I love you more.
We'll cut this and post it to our IGTV.
Oh my God.
Thank you so much, Jenny.
I love her. You're so welcome. I love you. I'll talk to you soon.
Love you. Bye, Jenny Ting.